What would you give up for total freedom? Your house? Your job? Everything you own? We did just that. Sold it all and set sail. This boat became our only home and our ticket to some of the most remote places on Earth. From the golden sands of the Caribbean to the shark-filled waters of Pacific atolls, we've lived every high and every low right here. Recently, we've been exploring the hidden corners of French Polynesia until the rules caught up with us. And now we're going off-grid. No backup, no borders, just us and the sea. The compass is spinning, the world is wide open. So with everything behind us, where do we go next?
So here's the fun bit.
So this anchoring area, or mooring area rather, as it is now, is a little shallow in places. So Zora has just been pinging away shallow and then like grounding danger alerts at us. But it's like, I think we're okay. I can just adjust the thresholds, but it's nice to know when there's like less than a meter under the keel.
I know, right? And then there's a really narrow bit coming up where there's basically like a sandbar on one side and a reef on the other. And you have to do a chicane, like a complete dog leg, to stay in the, I was going to call it a channel. It's not. It's just vaguely a little bit deeper than running around. You have to wiggle your way through to get out. So thankfully, there's not very much wind right now. But yeah, it was quite alarming on the way in. And I suppose now we know we can do it.
Except it is the exact low tide. Just
My timing is impeccable.
So we're leaving in the later afternoon. It's early evening.
It's not dark yet.
It's not dark yet. We're leaving bang on low tide. And there's zero wind. So for a sailboat, we're doing great.
Oh my word. Look at us go. Yeah, so on this side is the fringing reef around the two islands of Taha and Raiatea. You can maybe just about see Huahine in the background where we were last week. But on the other side of this anchorage, there's another little reef, which just encloses this whole area. So it's like a lagoon within a lagoon. So it's super protected and really, really nice waters with beautiful turquoise colors. But yes, it's a slight challenge to get here. You've got to be brave to make it in.
I don't know what the fuss is about, to be honest.
I've just spotted how easy you've got this.
I think you're just making a big fuss out of nothing. You're one of those YouTubers who makes a big, oh my goodness, we're almost dying every single time the breeze gets above 10 knots.
So when I brought us in the other day, I just had charts, which are apparently not reliable for here, and satellite imagery. Thankfully, it was not raining, so I could see quite a lot. But still, the first time you're doing something narrow, it's quite alarming. You're not entirely sure what to believe. Now, Ian's just following my track from in, and he knows exactly where to go. That's not fair. We're just coming up to the narrow bit now, and somebody has helpfully put a little marker pin, a sort of stick out of the ground to help, you know, keep that on your port side. That's where the reef is, but it's quite hard to see. I'm not sure how much it really helps. Are we in the skinny bit yet?
We are. We're about to go into the first deep puddle.
Basin. Yeah, it goes from like 6 meters to 16, I think.
Well, right now it's 3, 2.5, 2.4.
Fun! So it's about 4:30 in the afternoon now. The sun is starting to get slightly too low in the sky to be helpful, and we're just getting this massive shiny reflection off the water. You can't really see how deep these bommies are at all, so pretty much pot luck at this point.
Easy. I don't know why I made such a fuss on the way in. It was really straightforward.
Yeah, the octave jump in your voice back there. Oh, 2.5 meters!
Hello, that's 2.5 meters. That's shallower than it was a minute ago.
So we have one more wiggle and then we're suddenly to like 30 meters or something, 90, 100 feet. So easy, easy breezy. What I really enjoy about this entrance, it's quite a difficult entrance into a mooring field, and yet on No Foreign Land people have described it as the easy way in, because the only other way into that mooring field is to bring your actual boat through the dinghy channel, which we did consider and then took one look and thought, no, that's really stupid. You might have seen a clip earlier of us going through it in the dinghy. It is incredibly shallow, very narrow, and with just bommies everywhere. But we did see a catamaran come through it. So kudos to them. I would absolutely not have done that.
We got a friend.
Picked up a hitchhiker.
Yeah, one of these coming with us the whole way. It's always sad because I want to pass him a drink or something, but he's got to keep going, otherwise he'll lose the back of the boat and fall off. But it's like seagulls in the wind. They're like working off our wake to make it easier.
Yeah.
Or speed training, I'm not sure which.
We've picked up another one now. I thought we were going to run that second guy down. He was just sitting in front of us and didn't seem to notice that we were coming, so we were just getting ready to turn out the way, and he suddenly fell in and climbed back in and had to bail out the canoe really quickly before we got there.
So we have officially left, and you might be thinking we would be going over there. But we're not. The more astute viewers among you will notice that we have dropped the anchor still here in this atoll. We should explain.
Yes, although we have officially cleared out, we have been granted 2 more days in French Polynesia. We officially have to leave on Wednesday, and there's only Monday now, which is awesome because there is one more place that we really want to go to and we really want to share with you. And it's not Bora Bora. We have found somewhere even better. It is a night sail away. So we've just moved over to the pass. We are going to stop for a few hours, eat some dinner, and then set off at about 10 o'clock tonight and arrive first thing in the morning to absolute heaven. I cannot wait.
Right, we are officially underway.
Here we go! That was actually quite easy. We did put the main up inside the pass and then immediately regretted it and took it down again. But we have the spinnaker flying and it is super calm, 10 knots of wind, just a nice chill overnight.
Should be a pretty straightforward one, yeah. So basically the wind is not too inconsistent. It's really light. It's like 10 knots max.
Yeah.
But it's actually the swell that's ruining it. Because the boat's rolling side to side so much, with the main up, we were basically just getting jibes, essentially.
Yeah.
The main was just billowing so badly, it was then puffing out. It was just not worth it.
Yeah, and like we're not in a rush. We don't want to get there before sunrise. So we kind of want to slow ourselves down a little bit to make sure that we get there in the daylight. And at the other end, the pass is one of the sketchiest passes in French Polynesia. So we've got that to look forward to.
Yeah, on which point have we said where we're going?
No.
So we should brief you. So earlier today, we tried to point out, maybe poorly, I'm not sure, the very cool mountainous island of Bora Bora, which is just over there somewhere in the shadows.
Yeah, in our night vision, we can almost still see it, but on the camera, it's just going to be a black smudge, I'm afraid.
Yeah, sorry guys. We were hoping to be like sailing past at sunset going, look at the outline of Bora Bora. Didn't happen. However, everyone thinks, oh, French Polynesia, did you go to Bora Bora? I'm like, actually, when we've read about it, it's not that good.
Certainly for sailors, like if you go there on a boat, you have to pay $40 a night for a mooring ball.
That's not happening.
It's quite busy with a lot of boats.
And you're quite limited where you can go. That's why it's so busy.
Yeah, there's 2 anchorages. There's only 2 places you're allowed to anchor, and one of them is 23 meters deep. So that's just insane. And the other one is about half a meter deep, which is also not very easy. So instead of going there and just being surrounded by all the sort of honeymoon resorts and that sort of thing that it's famous for,
well, that's it.
we found our own version, which is better.
This is it. So
we've decided before we've even got there.
Oh, definitely, yeah. What we've heard is if Bora Bora is like honeymooners' paradise, then where we're going to go is basically cruisers' paradise. It's cruisers' version of Bora Bora, which you may or may not have heard of because it's one of these little hidden away gems that some people know about, a lot of people don't.
Yeah, so it's still going to have like the mountainous peak in the middle of a lagoon with a fringing reef around.
Is what you're saying. It's got the
we
Moana
are basically
effect.
Turning it into Moana, and now that's all I'm going to sing all
Why did
night.
I say that? Yeah. Oh, you're taking for a shift. I'm going to go to bed. Yes, so it has the mountain in the middle of the ring of coral in the turquoise water, surrounded by deep water, all that stuff. This is all that we've read about. We've still never actually seen it.
Yeah, we've never been there. It might be rubbish.
Might be
but
awful.
We have high hopes. So we are going to a place called Maupiti, which is just fun to say.
Maupiti. Maupiti.
Maupiti.
Maupiti. Anyway, so yeah, we should get there sometime after sunrise-ish, depending on what the wind does, how things hold out. And then we'll show you when we get there. But I'm sure, knowing us, we'll find ways to keep ourselves entertained through the night.
So there were a couple of boats in the anchorage right next to the pass this evening. And as we came out, we passed one of them, and then they sort of obviously saw what we were doing and thought, that's a great idea. So they lifted anchor right after us, followed us out of the pass, and they are now just chasing us down. So we're going to give them a little call on the radio. I'm assuming that they're going to exactly the same place as us, and they're trying to time it for a morning arrival. But yeah, it's quite fun to have company on the high seas as the spinnaker just flaps loudly.
The only challenge is their boat name is written in Danish.
Yeah, I think this is going to be perfect pronunciation.
Let's see how we go. Silian Kisa, this is Indioko, over. They're like, who's Silian Kisa? That's not me. Oh well, we'll just have to watch them all night.
It's a race because we're in front.
It's a race because we're in front, that's right.
Yeah, when we're cruising on Indioko, this is pretty much the only racing that we do, and it's like, oh yeah, that's fine. They're like a mile or two away from us, and we're just out in the big blue, and nothing's really happening. When we were in BVI a couple of weeks ago with Odyssey, we got a taste of actual proper racing that people do. It was so much fun, mostly because none of us were on our own boats, so it wasn't quite as terrifying that you were going to break something that you then had to fix. But yeah, it was lots of close quarters, lots of tight turns, stealing each other's wind, and I mean, somebody turned up with a spinnaker that they made out of bed sheets, which was quite impressive.
Yeah, Laura Decker, we know what you get up to, and we're ready for you next time. We will take you on. It's always hard for us to film on night passages, partly because we don't want to wake up the other person. Bernie's just gone down about, I don't know, an hour ago, give or take. And also because, you know, generally speaking on night passage, we just try and conserve energy. So we spend more of the time sitting down, playing games on our phone, or just looking at the stars. And tonight, the stars are pretty impressive because there's not that many clouds around. However, I don't know if I'll be able to show you this, but out the back, there's this insanely bright, well, I thought it was a star. I don't know if you can see up there, but it turns out that that is Venus, Saturn, and Neptune all clustered together. And actually, you can almost make out below that Mercury down on the horizon. So there's 3 planets all hiding all up here, all together, and Mercury down there as well. It's pretty cool. The good news is we are closing in on our destination. According to Zora, we only have another 2 hours or so. The boat that we had a boat behind us for a while. We actually made quite a bit of a gain on that. So their anchor light, I think, which they've left on, is just visible on the horizon behind us. And I can actually see, I think, an anchor light in the atoll we're heading to. I'm trying really hard to keep out its way. I mean, it could be a lighthouse, but I think it's an anchor light based on the waves. Been super slow, super easy. We've just had the spinnaker up the whole time. So the Falcon has been just carrying us. The waves have eased up a little bit as well, so the sail isn't bursting as much as it was. So it's just been kind of a bit cruisy. I'll take that. Cruisy's good. Now that the sun has come up, we can see, obviously, the island we're aiming for, but we can still see Bora Bora, which is weird because it's like 50 miles away, 45 miles away. But it just shows you how high those cliffs are on that island. Yeah, as the sun rose, I could just start to see a bit of an outline, and now it's actually quite prominent. I don't know how well it's coming up on camera, but what's weird is when we were on the other side of that, looking at Bora Bora and enjoying the sunset as it sort of hit the slopes of Bora Bora, you had no idea this island was here. It was completely invisible.
Oh my goodness, I have just woken up and there is a literal mountain right here. So we are sort of approaching the pass. The wind is sort of dying, so we're just going to sock the spinnaker in most of the last bit. And I can't believe that we've made it. This is absolutely stunning. Okay, here we go. Nice. Ready to drop the halyard?
Yep.
Good job.
Nice.
So we're just getting our first look at the pass here. There are breaking reefs either side, as you would expect, but there are a couple of markers that we just need to line up. So I guess we're just going to go along straight out here until we get lined up. That is the hardest thing about getting here is getting yourself lined up when the waves, I mean, they don't look that big out here, but you can just see how they are instantly smashing on the reef right around the pass. Weirdly, it's low enough that we can see directly into the lagoon and we can see how flat it is. So I think it'll be fine, but it's always just a little bit nerve-wracking as you're kind of lining up. So we're just gonna absolutely power on through and see. There should be outflowing current, but hopefully not too much.
Not gonna lie, slightly intimidating looking. I know we are always optimistic, but I can see the runway, the apron of the current that's coming out of this single pass. The reason it's so significant is there's only one pass in this atoll, so all the water that gets into it has to come back out this way, pretty much. So it still looks like it's breaking waves, and it can be breaking waves across the full width of the entrance. But hopefully if we get a little bit further in line with it, we'll find out that it's actually got some gap in the middle. Otherwise, we're going to surf our way in, which will be dramatic. There are channel markers, but there's also, I forget the proper name for them right now, but alignments. So there's two posts that I just have to get perfectly in line with each other, and that's the line I want to be on to enter the pass. It doesn't look right to me, but that's the notes, and here we go. Woof. Standing waves.
We are just approaching the posts now, and we are absolutely surfing on these waves. I know that they never look that big on camera, and to be honest, they are not that big. I would guess the forecast of 1.6 meters is probably quite accurate. Maybe they're a tiny bit bigger. I think I'm just seeing them just before they break and seeing them as bigger. So this is pretty much the limit on when the local people recommend that you come into this pass. And I can see why. You got this, we're doing it.
We're pretty much through the deadly part.
It's at this stage where we're mostly through and I'm not really having to do anything anyway that I suddenly start to turn around and think, all right, so when we come back out again, what are these conditions going to be like? Because from a drone, if we fly a drone before we come out or something, they're going to look pretty tame. And I think it would have been doable, but definitely heading out is going to be harder because we're going to be smashing into those breaking waves rather than surfing in on them. So we will have to pick our day carefully, and hopefully we don't get stuck here for too long. And this is now the second marker pin, which is generally considered once you pass that, then the conditions are fine and you're inside the lagoon. So we've still got a little bit of a channel to wiggle through, but hey, I think we can say we made it to Maupiti, and I absolutely want to go climb that mountain. First impressions, is it better than Bora Bora?
100%.
I'm so excited.
I think this feels like it's going to live up to its title about being the cruiser's Bora Bora.
Yeah.
Because it's so chill, it's so quiet.
It feels like a lot smaller.
Well, cozier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so, but it still has the cliffs and everything else going on, which is cool.
I want to climb them.
It's got palm trees, it's got shallow water that looks okay. It's not full of muck or rubbish. Yeah.
It's so good.
This is ace. I mean, I admit I do want to have a little bit of a snooze first because I've been up all night, but other than that,
then you're ready to go. So one thing that we didn't explain very well was why we chose that weather window. We've had no wind for like maybe 3 or 4 or 5 days. And there's a really big storm brewing in the south. It's not going to reach us, but we're just on the edge of it, so we got just enough wind to sail overnight. However, the swell that is going to kick up from the south is just building throughout this week, and it's going to make it absolutely impossible to come in through that pass. So we saw maybe 1.6, 1.7 meters. I'm too sleepy to work out what that is in feet. But by tomorrow, that is going to be 3.7 meters. So completely impossible to arrive here. And then we would have had to leave French Polynesia because we'd run out of time. So we were in a rush to leave yesterday, but it meant that we had that absolutely beautiful sail with the Falcon all night. And now, I mean, if we get stuck here, I'd be quite happy living here forever.
They're gaining on us. Do you think they're using the same wind we are using?
Stop with the Princess Bride quotes.
So good though. It's just loaded with so many options. You keep using that word. Don't think it means what you think it means.
I'm going to take the camera away now.
If there are, we'll all be dead.